Heron Hill is a 43-year-old winery in central New York in the Finger Lakes. Started in 1977 and has grown from a small white wine featuring winery to a multi-varietal red, white, sweet, dry, rosé, bubbly, have something for everyone. My wife and I decided we'd work in a vineyard for the harvest. And I remember the aha moment like it was yesterday. And I sort of stopped and I looked around, I just said, this is what I want to do with my life. Ended up planting 12,000 grapevines in 1972 and started making mistakes. And I don't think I made all of them, but I made a lot of them. I'm still making them off and on, but we grew grapes and got them up to bearing fruit in about 4 years. We built the building and we started a winery. Solved all our problems, right? Solved the ones we had and then created the new ones. We planted Riesling, which is the German grape and can take some cold. And that was eventually to become the flagship varietal of the Finger Lakes. And it's taken us 40 years to recognize that and start taking advantage of it. And now we are appreciated on the worldwide wine stage. I always thought when you worked real hard, you get to the place where you could sort of coast. There is no place where the coasting starts. So we keep working hard at what we're doing, and it's actually keeping me young and keeping my blood moving, and it's been healthy for me. There is obviously stress involved. Mother Nature is a very cruel mistress, and a number of times when we felt like we were on the brink of being discovered for our delicious Riesling wines, we'd have a -20 winter and we wouldn't have any grapes to make wine. When we started our winery, there were actually 12 other wineries in New York State at that time. Now there's 450, and you throw in the breweries and the distilleries and all the other things that are going on, it's a very competitive business now. In the year 2000, we sort of got to a fork in the road. Wine tourism was on the upswing. The Finger Lakes had been discovered, and so we decided that we would hire an architect and have him draw up a plan for our new winery building. He did a great job. We became a destination winery. We were among the first in the Finger Lakes to really make a statement that this is a place that you can't miss, got to come and visit. 5 years later, started a new tasting room on Canandaigua Lake. Over the years, we've introduced food and wine. We've introduced music and wine. We're always trying to think of more things to do. This year, we're doing something called Adopt a Vine. And basically, people sign up to come out and learn about how do you prune a grapevine? How do you tie a grapevine to the wires? How do you sucker a grapevine and get it through the season and make the best wine you possibly can? And then obviously learn how to harvest the grapes. So these are the types of experiences and the types of activities that we try and provide for our wine club members and for our customers. And we take great pride in conjuring up these experiences on an annual basis. Over the decades, we've won many gold medals, best of show, all kinds of exciting awards, and we certainly take great pride in that. A couple of the ones that were more significant was in 2004 at the San Francisco International Wine Competition. Over 3,000 entries of white wines. Heron Hill Engle Vineyard Riesling was selected as the best of show. And then, of course, when we were selected as one of the 10 most spectacular wine tasting rooms in the world, obviously we were in great company, and that's the type of award that never gets old. Just this last winter, we brought on a new winemaker. This guy isn't a home run, he's a grand slam. And his name is Jordan Harris, and he's a very exciting winemaker. He's very focused on Riesling, which is important here in the Finger Lakes because that's our flagship wine. He's very focused on acidity, and that's what gives the wine that extra feeling of, that was delicious, I gotta have another little sip. It keeps your palate fresh. This is a new twist for me that I'm excited about being part of.
Our wines are food wines. Our wines have good, refreshing character to them. They're friendly to a wide audience. I think that the Finger Lakes are very, very well suited to have massive growth nationally and internationally in an industry that is continuing to grow.
We have worked to make our vineyards as organic as possible. We were organic to the point that we didn't use herbicides, we didn't use chemical fertilizer, we didn't use insecticides. We did everything except for fungicides organically, and we had to use fungicides or we would lose our crop. We are not certified organic, but we are farming organically. I sent out a call to action to the other wineries in the Finger Lakes about a year ago, and I heard back from 30 wineries, and everybody agreed that we wanted to be more sustainably focused. We like to give something back to our community. It sort of started out when we supported otters. They were reintroducing river otters into the upstate New York, and we decided that we would put out a wine called Otter Spring, and sort of set the tone for our involvement in other community causes. On the Seneca Army Depot, there is a herd of white deer, and they were afraid if they sold the land that the white deer would be annihilated. And we had people supporting us for our stance on saving the white deer. And now we are moving on to another one, which is called Equicenter, equine rehabilitation. And they want to build a larger facility so they can have year-round capabilities for their rehabilitation efforts. We started in '71, so this is 50 years I've been in the wine business. We've learned how to grow grapes, we've learned how to make wine. A lot of it is still evolving in the Finger Lakes. This is a young wine region, and that's very exhilarating because I just planted new vineyards in the last 2 or 3 years. As far as the winery itself goes, I'm very excited to have the crew that I have here. Very proud to be starting another season in 2021 and making great wine. That's our goal, from great grapes, and making people happy.